Hey everybody, I'm Heather W. and welcome to the Cozy Creative Teacher, where growth, creativity, and transformation happen. Today I'm focusing on my January week 3 weekly actions and reflections in my MakseLife goal setting planner. Come join me. Let's dive in. Week 3 of January. I'll be reviewing my progress for week 2 of January, exploring how my actions align with my values, and planning my weekly actions for week 3. So, if you're watching, just go ahead and grab your planner or journal or any notes, and let's do this together. And just let me know if there's anything. Hopefully, you'll be able to gain some insight into the different areas that I'm working on for the MakseLife planner. So I'm going to go ahead and put these two sticker books aside. First of all, what I want to do, I'm going to put these two here. And I'm going to go ahead and open up my MakseLife planner. I want to get the 2 pens that I want to use to fill out my weekly actions and reflections, and also to work on my values board. I put the year, which is 2025, and then I just wanted to add a few decorative stickers, and I used the Live Love Posh Winter Deluxe Winter Allure sticker book, just to add some interest and to just kind of make it fun. I went ahead and I did my compass assessment. I actually had my companion notebook already filled out for 2025. But what I went ahead and did, and I copied whatever information I had in the compass assessment weekly book. I went ahead and I added whatever I had in the compass assessment in terms of the assessment scoring, and I added it into my official planner because I want to take some time, at least every month, to go back to my assessment scoring, my compass assessment, and see where I've grown and I've changed, and what are some areas I want to make improvements on. I went ahead and I filled out my intentions page, and I did write my word of the year, which is inspiration. And I just want to talk to you a little bit about what this word means to me. And inspiration resonates with personal growth and goal setting. It is my guiding light and will help me to strive to be my best self. It is my transformative power that will spark change and growth in my life. So I really thought hard about what I felt the word inspiration would mean to me and how I could use it to grow and learn on a regular basis. And the idea is that I want to think about how I interact with others, how I interact with my community, how I interact with my family, and I want it to be focused on how we inspire one another as a collective. So I went ahead. Here are things to consider in each area of life when writing your goals, and I use my personal, fun, recreation, work, learning, family, relationships, health and wellness, spiritual and personal growth, financial and physical environment. And I just highlighted which of these values resonate the most with me. And then, of course, I just kind of put some washi down here. And I want to go ahead and talk a little bit. I want to use some of these autumn and winter box collections from Rongrang. And I'm going to use one for each area of growth. And I want to kind of list which values kind of just most stand out to me, and which of these values in each area of life that I want to focus on for the year. You could see I have used a lot of these stickers because the colors of the autumn and winter book, I just love like those kind of deep browns and, those earth tone colors. They very much are my favorite. So you can see I've used a lot of these boxes. All right. And I'm going to put this one in the middle right over here. I'm going to go ahead and align it with the actual dot grid. I did my best. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this one, and I'm going to go ahead and align it here because these are kind of to be like more half and halves. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm done with this. I'm going to put this over here on the side. And I think the pen I want to use is maybe the kind of like this nice burgundy pen for my headings. And then to write down my values, I'm going to go ahead and use this brown. I'm going to go ahead and take a little step back. And here's personal. So I'm just going to write the word personal here. It's personal. Then here, of course, is fun and recreation. Work and learning. Family and relationships. health and wellness, spiritual and personal growth, financial, and physical environment. I'm going to use my Post-it and see how this brown works. And I don't think I want to use the brown. I'm going to switch that, and I'm going to use the green. Yes, I want to use the green of this. Oops. I want to go ahead and use the green to write down my values. I think that would be much better. So, in terms of personal, and I'm going to make sure this is perfectly right in the middle for you guys. So in terms of personal, the values that I feel like I want to really focus on and build within my life, and I feel like I make a personal connection to, definitely it's going to be self-worth. So I'm going to put self-worth here. Okay. I would say self-love, because I struggle a lot with kind of like thinking about just my meaning in life. Okay. My confidence is what I want to really work on. I feel like that value is something I want to build within my life. And my well-being. I'm going to go ahead and move on to fun and recreation. And I definitely want to work on joy. And that's because I feel like sometimes I just let all the heavy and the negativity kind of impact me, and it just changes my whole mental and emotional state. And I really have to learn on building the value of joy within my life. I want to work on rest and building the value of rest and rejuvenation in my life. I think those things are important to kind of build and learn throughout the years. And in terms of fun and recreation, I want to also look at activities. And I want to look at activities as a value to build, because I feel like activities, we could always use more of just fun and enjoyable experiences within our lives. Now I'm going into work and learning, and I definitely have a lot of values that I want to work towards and that I want to embrace. And that's definitely learning skills. I do create resources for teachers and for students in the classroom. I also have my own series of planners that I work on just to kind of help with my own organization and productivity. I want to learn more skills about just kind of what creation really looks like, and using AI to really build and develop my own brand line and just the work that I want to do. Purpose, I want to embrace purpose in my life. I want to think about how my work can support and inspire others. And that's definitely, I want to think of myself embracing being a supportive role and individual in my community. And for work and learning, I want my community to grow and learn. And for me, when I talk about community, I'm specifically referencing anyone I interact with or work with on a personal level, or if we're working collectively on a project or or interacting in any way. I want community to be that value that I embrace. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on to family and relationships, and definitely it's children. I really want to work to continually build a strong relationship with my two daughters and my son. My husband, that's definitely husbands, And I would say for quality time. It goes into the next one, but that's okay. So I chose husband and my quality time because, I've been married for almost 18 years now, and that's not an easy feat. But it's all about, building quality time with one another, and that's how your relationship grows. So that's something that I think I want to kind of work towards and build the value of in my life. Boundaries. Lord, if I could just have the word boundaries as a value, as dreams, and as a goal for the year, is definitely learning how to set boundaries and have some peace and healing. Definitely some inner healing within my life. Health and wellness is something I'm really focusing on for this year. And that has to do with I want to work on exercise, and not necessarily exercise, but more something that involves movement. And that it's like I have a dedicated time throughout the year to focus on movement and my health. I want to work on my mental health. I want to focus on definitely the value of wellness and energy. This is something that's new, this concept of the value of having the value of building the value of energy for yourself. And that's not something we do all the time. We don't think about, hey, when I think of the concepts of energy, where does my energy go? Where do I allow my mental and my emotional or my physical energy? Where am I using it the most? And in those areas that I'm using my energy the most, is it impacting my life in a positive or negative way? So those are some interesting questions for me that I want to focus on. Now, in terms of my spiritual and personal growth, I really want to build and develop my spirituality this year. And that could be through meditation, but I also have a faith planner. I'm personally using the Caliber Faith Planner, just to kind of, keep track of my Bible readings and just some great scriptures that I'm reading that are inspiring for my life. So I want to work on spirituality. I want to work on personal development. I'm very happy, by the way, that I chose the green pen. I think it just kind of all blends well together. Looks very pretty. Compassion for self. You know what I find interesting sometimes is that when we could have empathy and feel empathy and embrace others, but sometimes we do not have compassion enough for ourselves. We don't have for ourselves. We don't give ourselves grace for all of the challenges that we're able to overcome in life. So I think I really would like to work on compassion for self. I want to build and work towards having a purpose and reflection. I think to embrace the concept of reflection or the value of reflection in my life, and showing others how it's so important to really, it makes a difference when you do reflection. I think that it's going to help really that will definitely help in all of my experiences in life. Sorry. Now, in terms of financial, the word budget. I wish I could just write the word budget over and over and over again, but I am working on budgeting. I want to be a master person with my budget. Money management is something I'm working on because every time something beautiful comes out that I really want and enjoy, I like, oh, hey, where am I going to get the money to get this item? So I really want to work on budgeting and money management for my family, and also and increasing my wealth. That's, I think, a great value wealth to have kind of that good, healthy relationship with money, and knowing that to increase your wealth is okay, because you have to also be responsible as a steward with the money that you do have. Now I'm moving on into physical environment. And what's really cool is one of the goals for my physical environment was already achieved, because over the summer, I was able to get this beautiful movable desk. It actually moves up and down. And it was in our living space, our family living space. And we finally moved it into my bedroom or my room. And it's actually now in kind of like an office. I've been able to kind of really make my space into an office. So I have my desk, and then right next to me is a room. It's kind of a closet with all of my crafting and my planning materials. So really, I'm so happy that I actually have this physical space and this opportunity. I know not everyone has it, so I have to be grateful, and I'm very grateful. But one area of physical environment that I am really working on is to declutter. And you don't necessarily have to just declutter clothing, but it's a little bit of everything, right? Sometimes we should really be deep diving into all of the things that we have and think about, compare them in terms of, or categorize them into, are these needs? Are these wants? Could someone else make use of these materials? So in terms of my physical environment, decluttering, I want my home to be an organized one for both me and my children and my husband. I want to kind of lead in that way and show my children the importance of having organization, and the importance of like organizing yourself and organizing your life. I want to consider in my terms of physical environment, home management. And I think home management is important because it's, my children are growing up and they're seeing me every day in terms of what I do, how I use my time, and how I interact with other people. And I want them to learn from me that you have to kind of think about all the different values that you want to work and build towards in your life. So you can help the world, you can help yourself. And sometimes it's okay to do both. So this is kind of my values. I'm very happy. I actually really like it. The boxes helped a lot in terms of setting it up. I'm going to go ahead and now look at my annual goals, which is I filled this out during a training session that I was on. And it was great. I just decided to one day sit down and get it done because I was really concerned about, oh my gosh, what if I don't have the right annual goals? And here's the wonderful part. Maybe these annual goals are exactly the goals I need. Maybe I may have to add more. Maybe I added too much. So that's the good part. You always have time to grow. You always have time to go back and make adjustments. And it's okay to do that. You have the permission to do that. You have to do what's best for you. And I have to do what's best for me because I work full time. I'm a full-time mom, and I also run a business. So I have to, there's so many things that I have to balance out in my life that I just think it's really important to tell yourself it's okay to make these decisions. So this is my vision board page. I have not done it. I do have all the printouts that I need for my vision board. The only thing is that I'm debating whether I'm going to make a poster or I'm going to actually have it in here or maybe do a combination of both. All of the items for my vision board are printed out. I just have to, trying to decide what I'm going to do. And I want to have that as a separate video. All right. So this is just some goal setting quick tips. And here's my January, my monthly overview. I went ahead and I used some trackers, and I use these trackers, think about to track whether I'm using my planner or at least going into my planner, looking at my monthly goals and my weekly actions, whether I'm taking the daily time to do that, and also my daily reflection. So I will be, if I haven't posted the video, I will be posting it shortly. And I will be posting my daily intentions and maybe sometimes my daily reflections from the MakseLife goal setting system, but I'm not sure. But I do know that I will be posting throughout the year just different daily intention videos, just because I want to share with my audience, share with you my process. And I think it's so, it's very therapeutic to like take that time and sketch out that time for yourself to look at your planner, look at your goals, and look at your reflections and intentions. So you could see that I did it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, I did not really look at them. And that is because on Friday, I got called out of work early because one of my children had the stomach virus. So I had to kind of cut my day short and, switch to the mom mode. And that's okay. Doesn't make me a bad person. It's you have to do what you have to do and handle your responsibilities. Now, today's Saturday, and I have been working on my planner and on my MakseLife goal setting system today. I'm so happy. It makes me feel so relieved that I can actually do that. So this planner, again, I set up with the Live Love Posh Winter Allure. And I kind of use it's kind of like a New Year's theme. And you can see that I did use the 2025 and the new year. And I'm going to read to you the quote that I chose for the month, which is, "Snow is falling soundlessly in the middle of the night will always fill my heart with sweet clarity," by N. Takemoto. So, and what I do with this monthly planner, these are the specific dates for the Club Moxie sessions. So I attended Saturdays. It's just for me to keep track of when my MakseLife training is because it's specifically connected and related to my goal setting. So today was Club Moxie from 12 to 1, and that's when I worked a little bit on my systems. And then we had on the 7th, on Tuesday, I had a MakseLife team meeting just to meet the team, meet the organizers, meet the individuals who actually create all these wonderful systems to help so many individuals, especially women. And then my club life training. And then, of course, every week is something fun and special. And I'm very happy about that. And the theme of this month, coincidentally, is systems and how you're going to, and what kind of systems you're going to build for your success and for your planning and your goal setting. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and turn the page. And I did fill out my January monthly goals. I'm so happy about that. And fun thing, this undated planner came with, I'm just turning the page, came with some nice MakseLife stickers. You can see some little dot stickers, stretch goals, and just, some flags. And I believe they're all connected to each area of life. I use the dots and I used stretch goals because there are a few stretch goals that I'm looking at for this month. And that's specifically my YouTube channel and 2K that I want to save this month. I have, as a teacher, you have like retirement funds and 401ks and 403bs. So what I want to save is actually separate from that. Okay. So for my January monthly goals, I'm going to share them with you. And that's for my personal, it's practice daily intention setting and journaling, build my new 2025 systems, planner and future, research a counselor for therapy, tons of fun and recreation, family movie nights. And this weekend, this Saturday, is Twilight, which is nice. And my daughters, Twilight is my generation of film, guys. So I love the Twilight series. This generation of kiddos, they think, I don't know, my daughters just think it's the cheesiest film in the world or the cheesiest film series. So it's very funny seeing their interactions and just hearing their commentary throughout all the Twilight movies. 3 times of weekly movement and activity. Work and learning. I'm working on YouTube recording at least 4 to 6 videos throughout the month of January. That's my small goal, but I do have it as my stretch goal because I am new to filming YouTube videos. I've done lots. So I'm a trainer. That's my job. I train teachers how to work with students who are ESL, or I'm trained by the state of New Jersey. So I actually can go to different districts and train teachers at a time. I have trained I've trained maybe up to 100 to 120 teachers at a time. So that's kind of my job. And what I've been trying to do, I want to slowly shift to actually providing some of these recordings as kind of like a webinar. So that's like part of why I'm also doing YouTube. My vision board quarterly and monthly plan, I want to do a quarterly setup. I just don't have a specific page. And my quarterly plan for Q1, January, February, March is going to go into my 2025 coaching and planning journal. So I'm gonna that is gonna be a whole different project that I'm working on. And then I have, of course, my website completion, because I want to kind of start setting up my blog. I had a website. I feel like this year I'm redesigning it. I've rebranded, and I just have to I want to take my time in working on it. So maybe I'm going to give myself a month. I don't think it'll be completed by then, but it's something that I'm going to be working towards little by little. Family and relationships, spend more time with my husband. Think and journal about family trauma. So I do have a lot of things that I know that I've experienced as a child, and I haven't really feel like it's like out of sight, out of mind. So I don't address those, and I think it's time that I really just take some time journaling and writing about it. Start family dinners every week. We used to have family dinners every Sunday, but once I got sick in December, it kind of trickled. So I want to hop back on that and get back to kind of that nice family time where we sit at a table and we have a conversation about, our day, our week, and just enjoy each other's company. Health and wellness. So I don't want to write. So it says eating home cooked meals and focus less on purchasing. That's what $ food. I'm really working on that for this year, so I can really budget better for my family. And I think just eating home cooked meals for lunch at work or for breakfast at work, I think it's just a healthier choice anyway. Research a counselor, that's for my health and wellness, and it's connected to my personal goals, and that's okay. Sometimes your goals will overlap. Mindset podcasting is something I've been doing. So every time I go to work, on my drive to work, I either listen to a mindset podcast or I read a book. Just something I just try to read something about podcasting, about mindset, or I actually I just put kind of instrumental music, those nice, fun, cozy cafe YouTube channels, and I just try to enjoy the quiet. I think that's good. Doctors and ensuring I keep my meds and health strong. Spiritual and personal growth is daily Bible journaling and daily meditation. I don't have a third. For financial, save $1,000 from the salary. My stretch is to save $2,000. Let's see how much I can push it. Budget planner review 2 times a month. Now, I have a budget planner from Caleb Plan, but I won't be looking at that on a weekly basis. What I will be doing is every time I get paid, which is on the 15th and the 30th of the month, I will be printing my bank statements and basically breaking down my budget for those weeks, because I don't have the time. I don't have the time nor the capacity to look at my budget planner every single week and analyze it. I'm just really looking at how I can manage our family finances in a better way. And of course, my student loan application and bill management. And now for physical environment, declutter my space and set up my family spaces. That means I'm actually want to work on setting up their rooms in a more open area with no clutter, so that each of their desks and their workspaces, they can actually sit there and feel like that's their place of productivity. That's their place where they can get things done if they wanted to. So now I'm going to turn, this is my reflection on weekly wins, what worked, what didn't work, lessons learned, and adjustments needed. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that out. Then I have my weekly actions. So first, actually, I should be looking at the weekly actions and then my reflection. But so here's the thing. I'm looking at the weekly. I would assume that this weekly actions is for this past week that started Monday, January 6th to January 12th. The only thing, guys, is that wouldn't the weekly reflection go here on the back? So let me count if that's true, if I'm actually thinking about it in the right way or not. No, I'm not. Okay, because the last weekly action for the month of January has the monthly reflections page on it. And then I think some vision, some line paper so you can write down your ideas. Okay, ergo 2025. This is the weekly reflections page. Great. So let's talk a little bit about my personal and first of all, my weekly actions. And I'm going to put a check next to each one that I feel like I did great on. and I want to use, and I know that color pens and pencils should not be a big deal. I should be able to find it quickly, and I struggle with that. I feel like I have done, I'm going to put a check here because I really feel like I've accomplished the goal of daily journaling and podcast on mindful and looking into therapy. I think I did well with those two actions. I'm going to go to health and fitness. Home lunch daily. I actually did it. I brought leftovers, but I also bought some Panera soups. I was able to do that, guys. I'm very happy about that. Mindset podcasting. I listen to so many different podcasts. If you are interested in an amazing podcast, Stacey Musgraves. Stacey Musgraves has just some amazing podcast topics on mindset. I think you would really just get inspired by that. If you are in the Club Moxie family, Club Moxie has their own podcast series as well, but you do have to be a Club Moxie member to get access to those podcasts. Fun and recreation. We had some family movie nights this week. My husband always kind of has us watching these old Westerns from like the 70s and 80s, and it's a lot of fun. I did not do any of my weekly yoga or stretching exercises, guys. So that gets moved on to the week after. 3 to 4 nights of Bible study, and I was able to actually do that. I'm very happy. I actually really like that. Right before I go to bed, I sit down, I open my scripture for the week, and I'm going through an Advent meditation book that's kind of about the mindset of Mary throughout the whole month of December. But I stretch it into January because there were 2 weeks in December that I was actually sick in the hospital and resting at home. So I'm just kind of taking it into January because I want to finish it. Now, in terms of my YouTube channel, I actually did 2 videos, but if you also do the videos, I have to edit them. So that's going to be something I'm going to add in terms of work and learning editing. Learn how to do editing better, streamline my editing, and really dedicate that specific time so that I can edit. Financial, no Amazon spending. Now, I had to purchase one Amazon product this week, but it actually was for my husband's business. So it does not count as an actual personal purchase. So because my husband runs a construction, kind of building company, there are lots of times we have to purchase equipment, parts, different oils, different, tires, like you name it. I have had to purchase everything, to kind of help our business continue to thrive. So sometimes I get those products through Amazon. No purchasing lunch. I did not purchase any lunch this week. Now, spend time with my husband. We actually did do that. I'm so happy. We watched an old Western movie called The Missing with Cate Blanchett and Tommy Lee Jones yesterday. I enjoyed it. Very suspenseful, just kind of, there's a lot of trauma in that film as well, but it was just nice to sit and watch the film. And now in terms of physical environment, I have my personal office. I'm going to go ahead and check that. I have my personal recording space, which is right here, and cleaning deeply throughout the home. I would say that this week I had to kind of do more our base surfaces because my son has his, actually 2 of my children got the stomach flu. So I've had to kind of do a lot of deep cleaning. One area of deep cleaning that I just feel like it's always going to take me a long time is the kitchen. Lord have mercy, the kitchen. If you are a mom and you have a kitchen and you have 3 growing kids and a husband who works outside all day, your kitchen is always a mess. And I think that is like a curse for me. I'm not even going to check it because I know for a fact that I'm always just able to clean the surfaces, but I've always wanted to just do a deep cleaning of the top of our cabinets and the inside and do a full reorganization, and not always easy, guys. So these are my weekly actions. These are my reflections. I'm not sure that I'm going to actually write out anything here because I feel like what I'd like to do tomorrow, which is Sunday, today is January, if I'm not mistaken, I'm just going to look at my iPad. Today's January 11th is a Saturday that I'm doing these weekly actions and I'm kind of reflecting, but I think tomorrow, I want to spend some time kind of evaluating, just kind of writing, maybe journaling in this space here about my week. If I feel like I need to kind of work towards different things, and I'm not gonna do that with you because I think it would be too long and I'd keep writing. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and fill out my weekly actions for the week of January 13th, which starts on Monday. Yay! Exciting. So first of all, what I'm going to go ahead and start with is the items that I did not finish in this weekly actions from this past week, I'm just going to put them over here so I can kind of keep the momentum going. So coach and vision journal setup, that has to continue. So I'm going to just write that down here. So I'm going into the caliber plan and I want to use dots. Yes, I actually want to use dots. I'm not going to really use any of the decorative stickers, but I want to use the dots to really, just to help me indicate what areas I'm going to focus on. And I think these would work. So what I haven't completed here, I'm going to go ahead and transfer right into my weekly actions for the week of January 13th, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. January 13th to January 19th. Okay. And that will be week 3 of January. So I'm working this week on my coaching and vision journal setup. I'm going to put that down here. Coaching and vision journal setup. I'd like to continue the podcasting on mindfulness. Now, in terms of health and wellness, I want to continue home lunch or really like home cooked meals. Health and wellness, I really want to work on my water intake. Now, if I go to my fun and recreation, I want to work on maybe a weekly exercise. Instead of yoga, I'm going to switch it to at least maybe 3 times. I want to continue my 3 to 4 nights of Bible journaling. I'm enjoying that process. It's just a nice system, and it's by my bedside, and I do it every night before I go to bed, and I want to really keep that practice going. I'm enjoying it. My work in learning is definitely editing with my YouTube videos. I want to kind of really develop a streamlined process for my YouTube videos, work and learning. I will be doing just kind of an analysis of my website. I'm just going to write the word website there because the way that process for me works is that I utilize ChatGPT to help me think about the setup and the descriptions, but I have some setup and descriptions already there. So I like to kind of go back and forth and evaluate. And I'm going to put the word evaluate and kind of evaluate how I want to set it up, how I want the sections to look, etc. So I have that work and learning, editing my YouTube videos, website, and evaluate. And I'm also going to do a little stretch goal for this week, which is my product plan. Plan for TPT, and that's my Teachers Pay Teacher Store. And my goal is to kind of, I was so aggressive during Thanksgiving and Christmas for TPT that I feel like I had to take a little break, and it's just time to start thinking about my product line for the 2020. Now I'm talking about the 2025 school year, guys. So this is kind of almost like a yearly planning focus that I'm going to do. And I'm going to have to think about how I'm going to just think about the product lines for the year. I will not be doing so many things, but the little that I do post onto my TPT store, you want that. Anytime you are selling, you are creating, right? You want your creating your products to be good quality. Quality is always better than quantity, especially when you're a creator. So I want to make sure that the products that I set up, that I introduce, that I work with, that I give to other people, that I sell to other people is quality work. Not, just, hey, I have 500 products on TPT, pick one, and they're all kind of, not really well designed. So, and also the more you work on quality when you're creating something, I said, that's how you build your talent. That's how you build and practice your skill. Those are muscles that you're developing. Financial, guys. Financial is going to be like it's like my Achilles heel. I'm telling you. Again, so this week on the 15th, I'm going to put the 15th right over here. 15th is going to be my budgeting day. And actually, I'm just going to write the word budget planner. But what I have to make sure I do to accomplish this goal is I have to actually well, actually, I can't print the whole January statement because it's the 15th. So I'm just going to have to go online and use my bank statement. And so I'm going to do view bank statement. Let's see. I'm hoping I can really like get some good insight from looking at my bank statement. This is the first time I'm going to be doing it in that way. I think it's good. So you should always know what's going out of your bank account. What are you spending your money on? I think those are good questions to ask. Sometimes we don't want to ask those questions, but it's important to ask them. Family and recreation. I'm going to go now. I feel like I accomplished that part with just spending time with Papa. That's my husband, we had some great time, some movie time this week, and I think we had so much fun. So I'm going to go into the January monthly goals. And this week is going to be a heavy week, right? Because I'm focusing on my coaching and vision journal. And that process is going to be very involved. Weekly exercise. I feel like my business is going to take up a lot of time this week because I'm working on the editing, website, product plans. So I one of my January goals is to think and journal about family trauma. Right now, because I'm not focusing on setting up my actual personal or my coaching journals yet. That way. So I think I'm going to work on starting our family dinner routine. So I'm going to put that down. Family dinner routines. All right. So I think with the family dinner routines, I think that's a good small goal to work on. And I think this can be accomplished definitely. Physical environment. I was able to get my personal office and have a recording space. The only thing is I have my January monthly goal is focused on setting up my family space. But I think what I want to look at is my children's space. And I want to think about decluttering. I'm going to put the words declutter and organization there. And organization. And there it is, my weekly actions. Again, the only reflection I actually did was I checked what I feel like I accomplished. And then I just, whatever I did not complete or finish, or that I feel like I need to dive in more and work towards, I just added into next week's weekly actions. In terms of the reflection piece, I have to really sit and think about that because that involves me writing out what worked and what didn't work. And I want to think carefully about the prompts before I actually write them. But I feel like this is my first full week in the MakseLife goal setting system. And I feel like I was able to really see what I was able to complete in a week. What I really, this is what I set out. I set out to do these things for this month. And I'm trying to bring these pieces into every weekly action. I feel like it's really great to see what you're able to complete and accomplish. And then, I think I personally think I have too much here, but I'm challenging myself. And what's really nice is that if you don't complete something or if you only complete it partially, you can just put it into the next week. So this is it for my weekly reviews and my weekly actions for weekly of January. I'm very happy with the process. I'm very happy with how I was able to reflect on my wins and what worked, and just looking forward into next week. I really am looking forward to completing all these goals next week and working on them. By the way, for my personal health and wellness and financial, that is a catch-all planner that I use. It's like slash Frankenplan slash Transformer, but that's a separate planner. My work learning is specifically a business planner that I use, and a social media planner. So those are two separate planners I use. And then in terms of physical, family, relationships, and those are just these are just things I generally do. I don't track them anywhere. It's just, those are kind of just my everyday things, or that I do as a mom in the house. And those are just always on my mind. And then in terms of spiritual and personal growth, for my Bible journal, I use the Kill of a Plan faith journal. I'm not sure that that's going to be what's going to be the focus of this channel, because it's more centered on organization and productivity for individuals, for teachers, for women, and just anyone who kind of wants ideas on what they can do to inspire their lives. So here's what I want to know. What are your top areas or actions for the upcoming week? If you are using the MakseLife goal setting system, what are you focused on? What do you feel like you're learning from this process? Please share them in the comments. Let's support each other in staying aligned and inspired in our goals. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, or hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more content like this. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time as we continue this journey of growth and transformation together. Bye!